How's it going, everyone? It's me, Whiplashthesnake, bringing you another life story. And if you are new to this channel, these types of videos are where we sit back, relax, play a little bit of games, have them sitting in the background, and basically just have an image for you guys to zone out to as you listen to a story. And if you are new to this channel, this basically is a series where we just sit back, relax, take a look at either a cringy, a frightening, or a really messed up time in my life, and we laugh about it. And today we're gonna go with a frightening route for this entire thing, because this is going to be a story about the time I was trapped by a rattlesnake with me and my family. And before you say, haha, you got trapped by a snake, but you're a snake, you can get out of it. Shut up. Okay, this is serious, okay? I lost a pair of jeans because of this. Rest in peace, jeans, I knew you well. But really, these life stories come around when I don't have the time to make an entire full-fledged video like I want to do. But I still have to get something out to you guys, and I feel like this is a good way for you guys to connect with me and know me as a person. But with that being said, if you guys like this story, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so this story takes place when I was about 13 years old, okay? I was still in elementary school, K through 8. And during this time, as a family hobby, we would go out into the desert because, I live in Arizona. It's everywhere out here. And we would take out a bunch of quads, a bunch of motorcycles, and we would just ride around the desert and have a bit of fun. Now, we had a few spots that we would normally go to and we knew really well and we would just ride around all the time with, but we decided that we were going to check out a different spot this time and basically make a whole trip out of it. Now, if you guys don't know, there's a mountain range in Arizona by the name of Four Peaks, and by this mountain range there's a really long trail that leads through the mountains. It leads through the desert. People can walk on it, people can hike, people can ride their bikes, it doesn't matter. We decided to use it for quads. Now, this trail is extremely long, guys. I mean, it goes on for miles. It goes on for 5 miles just deep into the desert, just out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around this area. It's just complete desert. But we get out and we leave our truck at this parking zone where a bunch of people have parked, to go out on this long trail. But we just get onto the quads and we start driving straight out into the desert. It's an entire family trip. It's me, it's my mom, it's my dad, and it's my sister. And we just continue driving for an entire hour out there, just going deeper and deeper out into the wilderness. Never really getting lost because it was just one trail and we were following the trail, so we knew our way back. Being 2 miles out from any kind of help, and then also another 50 from any kind of civilization, it wasn't the best of feelings if anything went wrong out there. So, we were being extra careful. Now, we just continue riding for a long time, and eventually we come across this mountain, and we decide to take a rest at it. Now, I'm not talking a major mountain, but I'm talking about one of the smaller ones that are just in front of the big mountains. And we decide to just stop there and have lunch, take a break. And, after we were finished eating, we decided let's just climb up the mountain and, take a look at the desert. And so that's exactly what we do. So me, my sister, and my dad just all climb up this mountain, and we find this little area that splits off from the mountain, and it goes between two rocks. There's bushes that line it. It's really cool. It looked like a really neat spot. And then it came out to this plateau, just a circular plateau, completely smooth. It was really nice. It was just halfway up this mountain, and it was a good place to rest. We walked through this little narrow pathway, and to explain this pathway to you a little bit better, so there was a main pathway that went up the entire mountain, and about halfway up this mountain there was another path that led off between two cliffs of it, and there was a mountain on one end, mountain on the other. They kind of went into an arch over each other, and there were bushes on each side of this narrow trail, and it was just basically flower bushes. It was really pretty, and then it came open to this circular plateau, and there was a little bit of a drop, a 10-foot drop, and then just rocks and everything down below there. To let you guys know, there was only one, and I mean only one, exit out of this place, and it was straight through that path, because on one end you had a sheer mountain face, and on the other end you had a cliff followed by rocks where you don't know what's down there. And so, because we're basically geniuses, we decided it's a good idea to just, stand there for about 10 minutes, just talk, look around, enjoy ourselves there, and then we decide to go back. And so my dad decides to start walking first, and we're just following behind him, me and my sister. My sister's in front of me, and I'm taking up the rear. And my dad passes by these bushes, he makes it all the way out. And then as soon as me and my sister get next to these bushes, we just hear a loud like, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it was just basically an entire air compressor just went off. And, you know, this noise completely shocks us, so we're just, like, standing there for a moment, you know, like, looking confused. My dad turns around, and he just screams, "Rattlesnake!" And as soon as my dad screams that, me and my sister immediately turn around and start running back to the plateau. Now, my little sister, having been about, like, what, 10 at the time, went completely psycho and immediately, like, pushed me over and sent me, like, flying. So I was just left there, like, on the ground, like, right by these bushes with a lost shoe, a hole in my jeans, and I'm right next to these bushes with a snake in them. But so I hop up and immediately run to the plateau, and I'm just freaking out and everything because, you know, my shoe's right by this rattlesnake, and, you know, I had to get it back, so I just, like, slowly go up to it, quickly grab it, and as I do so, I realize my pants were ripped. And at this point, my pants were all I cared about for some reason, so I completely freaked out. But this entire situation is completely screwed up. I mean, we're just sitting there 2 miles away from any help, basically. I mean, it was like a 10-minute drive back to even the people that were at the parking lot, and that's without following the trail and just going over mountains. And my mom being the only one at the bottom, being the worst rider out of all of us, yeah, we were pretty much screwed. So the entire time we're just standing there, just like talking about what to do, how to get out of this situation. I mean, we're like looking over the edge, you know, like, should we jump? Which, you know, is a risk because we don't even know if there's any more rattlesnakes down there, and if there are, we're completely screwed. But my dad, being on the other side of this little pathway, finds a little ledge that leads into this little plateau area. And it's basically 10 feet off the ground here. I'm not kidding, it's 10 feet up, and there's only about 5 inches for your feet. Like, you've seen shimmying in video games, this is shimmying in real life. But this is the only way out of this area, and it's high enough so that we don't have to worry about the rattlesnake. So my dad gets up and he starts going across this, like, tiny ridge and makes his way all the way back to us. Finds an area where it's not completely impossible to stand, and he starts to try and help us up. And, you know, being a 10-year-old girl and a nerd that basically stays inside of his room and plays video games all day, we weren't in the best shape for climbing. Basically, at this point, we had no other option, so it was either do this or stay there and hope that the rattlesnake doesn't come towards us. So, of course, my sister's the first one up, and she starts shimmying across the wall trying to get out of that entire situation, and then my dad stays behind and starts trying to help me up. Which, I mean, if you know me, I can't climb at all, so yeah, it probably took a good 5 minutes for me to finally get up on that ledge. And once I got up there, I started shimmying across as well, you know, and I get to the point where we can look back at the bushes and, you know, see into it. And inside the bushes, we can just see the rattlesnake, you know, sitting there, coiled up, just like looking at the path, just like waiting for anyone to walk by. And, you know, we can't be mad at it, you know, this was probably its club and we were trespassing in it. It was a pretty sweet spot, actually, I don't blame it. But luckily we made our way across and no one was hurt, you know. We got back on the quads, told my mom, and she completely freaked out. And we just rode back and put all the quads away because, you know, after that experience, we decided that's a little bit enough for today. Let's just go home now. But yeah, after we left, we never went back to that area because, you know, it kind of scarred us all for life. And we went back to the normal place where we found something else a little bit interesting that I will be saving for another story. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you liked it, please hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. I would love a new addition to the Snake Army. And be sure to tell me what you guys think of these stories. I read all the comments, so please just leave me one, I'll read it. And be sure to check out my Twitter and share this video with all your friends. But guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I will see you on the next one tomorrow. Again, really hope you guys enjoyed, and this is Whiplash signing out.